Okay, guys, welcome to our team call for Tuesday, October 23rd. I cannot believe it's the end of the month. Not to make it about me or anything, but Cammie turns 2 on Friday, and I literally cannot believe it. Every time I check the date, I'm like, how do I have another 2-year-old? But so there are kind of a lot of announcements, but kind of not really, because a lot of them leaked from leadership last like a couple weeks ago. But Super Saturday was this week. This past weekend, I mean. I drove to Phoenix to get to go with some of our babes on our team, and it was really, really amazing. The next Super Saturday is January 12th, or that weekend, because sometimes it's on a Friday, sometimes it's on a Sunday. Please mark your calendar. Please try to get there. It's really, really cheap. I, confession, was going to pay at the door and then was late, and then I just walked in. So I didn't even pay because they were gone. They were gone. It's not that I wasn't going to pay. I was going to pay, but I didn't know I was going to Phoenix, and then I bought the ticket, and it was like, you are too close to the event or something. And then I was like, whatever, I'll just pay at the door. I don't really care for full price. And then they weren't there, and I just walked in. Not the point of the story, but I'm just saying, even if you have to get there the last minute and pay at the door, it is so worth it. It's really cheap. It would have been $25, and it's well worth it. Really, it's just your commitment of time. I had to juggle, literally, guys, I had to drive 6 hours, find a babysitter out of state, beg them, buy them Chinese food. But it's so worth it, because you feel alone sometimes in this business. You're behind a computer, you're just kind of talking to people, and you can feel kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm just posting on flipping Snapchat or Instagram stories. Does anybody even know, am I alone in this? And getting in that room, when Autumn at the end, Brenna, I know you were really busting butt, but when she's like, hold the squat, and everybody is counting down, it was really empowering. I almost cried, and I wasn't even doing the workout because my breasts were engorged, and every time I moved, I felt like I was going to leak everywhere. But Brenna was killing it. I watched her. So just try to get there. Also, Summit tickets are on sale right now. They are $145. They will not drop price again. This is it. And the big announcement is that Rachel Hollis is the keynote speaker. So if Girl Wash Your Face touched you in any way, shape, or form, you need to get there, because I cry all of Summit, with a normal person. So Rachel Hollis is going to make me cry so much more, but it's such a good cry. It's such an empowering, I can change the world. I can change my life. And Brenna cried too at Summit, and she's like, I don't really cry. And I was like, I told her to bring tissues, and she didn't believe me. You see people's transformations, you see why we're doing this. And sometimes you lose the weight, or you have a great transformation, and you kind of forget why you started, I do, where I was before, and then you remember, because I was there once, and this is why we're here. It's a bigger vision and everything. So get your ticket, guys. We'll figure out flights. We'll figure out hotels. I mean, we already have 6 of us purchase our tickets and stuff, and I know it's growing. And so we might even get an Airbnb house. We'll figure it out. There's always people last minute in Team Forward Fitness being like, we need someone to join us, or can I join you? There's always room. So that's it. Besides that, Brigida has, and I'm going to make a graphic, and by the end of the week, Brenna and Wes, if you don't know who Wes is, she's another babe on the team. And obviously you see Brenna a lot, but they got together and they kind of scheduled out the whole rest of the year. And I am going to do that as well, and then make a graphic for you guys so you can jump in with what you want. And I empower you to jump in with as much as you can, because work smarter, not harder. Right now, and I always say this, you basically should be hustling until you're 2 to 5 star. So none of us are 2 to 5 star, and so that means 80% of your time, 90% of your time, should be business building. So that means doing your own workouts, sending your own invites, sending your own follow-ups. All the extra stuff is so good and fun and important, but that's not going to get you direct results. So reward yourself after a power hour to do some graphics. But if you're oh, I worked my power hour, but I just made pretty graphics the whole time, that doesn't really count. You have to be sending your invites, following up with babes, creating content for your posts, stuff like that. So that will have it all scheduled. So we have that awesome coach. If you did not leverage, what baby? Yes, this. The coach, like sneak peek that Brigida led. Brenna told her story in it. Paula told her story in it. That was my struggle. I got it though. I got it, like literally I practiced all day. So she told her story. There were a bunch of other people. I didn't even know who they were, and it doesn't really matter. They were amazing stories. And sorry, Cammie of course is high maintenance. So use that. She's doing a sneak peek. I did not watch the team call last week. Things have been kind of crazy because I like took off to Arizona last week, so I haven't watched it. But Brigida has scheduled out the whole rest of the year. So she this weekend is doing, or like this tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, is doing a sneak peek what is into a challenge group. If you feel like you're behind, I get it. I am too. I'm going to do an Instagram call to action tonight and tomorrow. Like, if you feel like you're behind, don't worry, you still have time. I'm just going to say, hey, if you've ever wondered what a challenge group is or what an accountability group is and what it looks like, I just have an informational group to explain it. Do you want me to add you to it? And do a poll like yes and heck yes. Always two positives, never yes and no. Also, we have an Emerald Push this weekend. So this is a lot of announcements. Sorry, guys. Good thing I don't have that many slides for my objections. The Emerald Push is going to be hosted mainly by Wes, supported by Brenna, and I'm just there to cheer everyone on. But it's awesome, you guys. Like, they have put a lot of work into this. They are probably two of like the hustlers that we have, and they like are no nonsense, like let's just get it done. And they are going to explain what Emerald is, why you want to get there, how you can make more money than just commission. So, you know, in Coach University, in the team pages, you're seeing that Success Club is important. You're seeing Go Emerald, but you don't know what it is. That's okay. Even if you don't know what it is, join the group, because you'll learn what it is, and you'll have a little motivation and excitement in this like little community. You know, it's just our team, so there will be a few of us in there pushing for that. And it's, you know, it's like mom mentality. Like, when you're together and everybody's pushing, you feel more motivated. When you feel like you're alone, it's harder to like go for bigger goals. So Emerald is the first goal in helping you reach you know, more income potential. And it's the faster you tap into Emerald, the more money you'll make long term. It's kind of wasted money the longer you are not Emerald. So and it's really, really easy. It's literally just a decision. When you decide to go Emerald, it's all mindset. So I'll do a post in the team page that says like, you know, do you want to do this? Here's the link. So, and then we'll add you to it. And then the other stuff is kind of stuff that you already know, like Shanti's new program. We have the convenience packs coming, Fruit Punch, Energize. They said their vegan customers will be happy with the new performance line. So I'm pretty sure it's like vegan recover and vegan stuff like that, which is really cool. But it's not much of a secret because they were like, your vegan customers will be happy. So that, and then they're redoing 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme with live workouts. All of these are perks for BOD members and people who are on auto ship. So there's becoming more perks for being on auto ship. And that's really cool because that brings us long-term volume, long-term income, stuff like that. So that's kind of it. Lots of stuff coming up. Just be excited. Even if you're like, I don't know what's coming, just know it's coming. Like, this next 2018 was probably one of the best years for Beachbody that I've seen in a really, really long time. And it's because they're coming out with new stuff left and right. Like, literally, you can't even try everything before they come out with something else. It's so exciting. So 2019, especially for our team, is going to be really, 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 really freaking epic. So I'm just fixing this. Cammie, stop. I'm sorry, baby, but really, you're pulling on me constantly, and it's making me want to lose my mind. Here. She doesn't want anything to do with me until it's team call time. No, you don't want this? Okay. Whew, so this call is not about Cammie. I know, baby. You hate me. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. This call is not about inviting per se. I really just made this. Oh my gosh, this child, you guys. What am I going to do? And that's Brenna. Hi. I didn't tell her I was using her post, so awkward. Okay, so handling objections. Cammie, what can I do? What can I do? What? My husband's not home, just so everyone is clear. All right, I'm sorry. Everyone take 2 seconds. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna run and get her binky, get a drink of water, wine, whiskey for.
And ladies, while she's jumping off, you might also hear my crazy child in the background, FYI. With regards to the Emerald Push on Saturday, it's going to be at 9 a.m. Arizona time. If you are a new coach and you're someone who's just like, you know, even you are like, I just want to get my shakes paid for, or, you know, you're not like super into making this a full-time business, but you want to just be able to have that extra passive income, then you need to go Emerald. And we're going to talk about like the zillions of ways that it's going to be so beneficial, and also how simple it is to do it, and how we're going to give you like direct tips on how to do that. So I know it's a Saturday morning. I know for some it's early, for some it's kind of maybe lunchtime, but you're going to need to be on this call. We're doing an Emerald in 48 hours. So it's for one weekend, well, Saturday and Sunday. So really try to make it a priority. If you have any new coaches, even if they're brand new and they're kind of like just going through Coach University, it's okay to offer to have them jump on and be in the group, because like we always say, like even in Diamond Dashes, even if you don't go Diamond, you're going to learn a lot and you're going to be able to start that process of moving your business forward. So I hope to see you guys all there. I will be so perky. I'll have my Energized before, so it'll be really epic and entertaining. Go ahead, Sam.
I really like when you're energized up. Okay, so we're talking about handling objections tonight. So we're not talking about the specific invite. So if you have a specific how to send your invite question as we go through this, just write it down and I'll totally answer it, but that's not the purpose of this call. What I'm going to do is take you from when you send the invite forward. So you send an invite, whatever that looks for you, because we want it to be in our, you know, voice, how we would sound in real life. So if you were to meet someone on the street and how you were to type an invite, you want that to be identical. And they are going to answer or not answer, and I'm going to address that too. So if you are brand new, which we do have some brand new coaches, and nobody has validated that you're going to get ghosted, I'm going to validate you right now. You're going to get ghosted all the time. And that's when someone just doesn't answer you. Sometimes people don't know what to say. Sometimes they're not interested. And they don't want to like shoot you down. And so it's not you. It's just the way of the game. So if you send an invite, you know, and this is for challenge groups, just so we're very clear. When you send an invite to a challenge group and they say, I'd like to learn more, or yes, I'm totally in, or I have no idea what you're talking about, but can you tell me more? Like, I've gotten every kind of response. Anything on the way of positive, I just ask them what their goals are, because this is not about me filling up a Lift 4 challenge group with people who are not right for Lift 4. I can still help them no matter what, because we have such an extensive library. We have Shakeology, we have the performance line, we have vegan options, we have regular options. Like, we have so many ways to help them, but you have to know what they need help with, right? So immediately I ask them what their goals are. When I invite to a challenge group right now, and then I say something like, you know, they're like, well, what is it? So I say something along the lines of like, so what we're going to do is crush some home workouts, focus on our nutrition, our self-growth, and blah, 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 blah. What are your health and fitness goals? And then they're going to tell you what they are. Now, basically through this whole thing I'm going to talk to you about, it's all about asking questions, like real questions, not just like, do you like that? Like real things, so you know what they are looking for and how you can help them. And then you're going to take notes, because most of the time it takes, you know, like 6 to 9 invites for someone to join your challenge group. Again, so if someone is not ready right now, know that that is also super normal. The more information you get from them, the more likely that they're going to join your challenge group in 6 to 9 invites. So, and then when they're like, oh, I really want to lose 5 pounds, I really want to tone up, whatever, you're going to say something, you're going to ask them more questions. So what is working for them? Hey, what's working for you right now to reach this goal? What's not working for you? What's your biggest struggle with nutrition? Or what's your biggest struggle with fitness? I'll say, what's your biggest struggle with, like, what's holding you back from reaching or to get to that goal of losing 10 pounds? I make them tell me what they're struggling with or what their goal is, or what, and sometimes they're like, I don't know. You know, I was someone who had no idea what I was doing. Other people are like, well, I'm going to the gym 5 days. I mean, I was like, I can't even get started. So I don't know. You're going to get all these kind of different answers. And then you'll know where to go from there. And then with all these questions, and this is more again with the invite training, like, you're going to present them with tools, you know, like, here's a video of Shakeology. Can I send you a video about Shakeology? Or eventually you have to just tell them you're a Beachbody coach or you're doing a Beachbody program. Like, as much as we use curiosity marketing, and we're not just like, hey, this is Lift 4, blah, 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 or Sean T's new program. Eventually you're going to say, okay, I'm doing a program that's really working for me. It's 4 days a week, blah, blah, blah. It sounds like it would align with what you're struggling with, a simple nutrition plan. Can I send you information about it? And then I send the little video from BB Links. And then I say, how did you like that? Or what did you like about that? That's Brenda's great phrase. What did you like about that? So it's like using, not saying, did you like it, yes or no, and not being, it's automatically putting them in the positive of what did you like about it. So, I mean, you can tell me you didn't like the price, but that's not what I asked. I asked you what you liked about it. And you're making more ways for them to be positive. So we're going to pause right here. If you send an invite and they say no, so I'm sending a lot of invites on Instagram. I see my new approach to inviting training and see if that is something that, you know, works for you. But a lot of times I'll send an invite, whether it's the way I'm doing it now or the way I've done it for the last 3 years, and people don't answer. So I'll send them a message back when they don't answer, because I don't want them to think, I never want anyone to think that I'm mass messaging. Even though I am mass messaging, I do care about each individual person. So I'll say something like, hey, I'm not sure if you got my last message. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you on your journey. Are you already rocking your health and fitness? Or what are you doing for your health and fitness routine? Is there anything I can help you with? And if anything, we're just going to, it's going to open the door for them to tell me. Now, if they're like, well, I'm rocking Weight Watchers, I'm going to be like, good for you, girl. Way to rock Weight Watchers. And then I'll write that down, and I'm going to check in with them in a month and see how that's going. Meanwhile, they're following me on Instagram and see that I'm keeping up with it. A girl today was like, well, I can never stick with anything, but I just bought a subscription for like kickboxing classes, which are really, really great. But we all know some of these expensive classes long term are really hard to keep up with because you're paying for the money, life gets busy, and you can't fit in that schedule. Or for me, I all of a sudden had kids, and then going to the gym is just not an option for me. So their life changes, and then you're still there rocking the different programs that we have, and you're sharing all about that, and they're remembering. So at the point of this is that you want to be asking so many questions, like so many questions. Every message should end with a question, and you should really remember. And then in your streak or in your Google Doc or in your paper, however you're tracking your people, you will then have notes that say like what someone's doing, so you don't remember it all at the top of your head, because you never will, or you're not going back and scrolling through the message to figure it out. You're just going to write Weight Watchers, rocking it, kickboxing class, likes it, but has trouble with sticking with things, you know, so then you can go back. Now, let's say they said yes, and you're asking them about their goals, and you're sending them information about the groups, and then you're basically like, okay, are you ready to jump on? Then they're going to have one of the three things happen, in my experience. There's obviously some extra ones too, like special circumstances, but pretty much the three objections, the big ones, are time, money, and fear. So I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, and I'm fearful that this won't work. I'm fearful that I will fail. I'm fearful that this is a scam. This is a bunch of crap, you know, fear. So the first one, time, is pretty easy to squish. And if someone, it's kind of the easiest one, that if someone really wanted to get healthy, time, they'll make time. Like, they just have to get to their breaking point of not feeling comfortable in their body long enough. It's like, what's that phrase? It's like, you have to want to change more than you want to stay the same. With time, like, that's an easy one. Cami, please stop. So a lot of times they'll say, I just don't think I could squeeze anything into my schedule. And then two things I often say are, how much time could you spend on a workout? So I have them tell me. And they could even tell me 10 minutes a day, and we have 10-minute trainer in Beachbody On Demand. But, 20 minutes a day, we have plenty of programs, one new one coming out that we're going to leverage hugely for the busy people in this world. And then, really 30 minutes, guys. And I always say, no commute. So I ask them a question, then they'll answer. Then you're going to go back and forth. And then right now with 4, it's really easy to talk to people who are busy, because I'll say the new program I'm doing is 4 days a week, and it's 30 to 39 minutes a workout, each workout, without a commute. Think that is something you could squeeze into your schedule. It cut off, sorry. And then they'll answer you, yes or like, yes, I could, no, I couldn't. It doesn't mean that when you squish this objection that another objection doesn't come up, but at least you are understanding what they're thinking. That is really helpful to know what people are thinking, right? Because you could be thinking, oh my gosh, they are just not wanting to spend the money right now. And really it's about time. So you have to get to the bottom of it. Money is a huge one, right? Who feels like they dread this question about Shakeology? Oh my gosh, it's so expensive, and you don't even want to open your inbox, right? Because you're just expecting all these objections about Shakeology. But before you even open the message, before you even do any of this, know the value in Shakeology. Know the value in what you have. I've been huge on affirmations lately, like obnoxiously huge. Like, I sound like a really weird person walking around my house telling myself all these things. But do that. Look at yourself in the mirror before you answer questions and be like, Shakeology is worth it. When you drink it, tell yourself how amazing this is making yourself feel. If you're really struggling with Shakeology and handling the value of it, there's a podcast, Shakeology, and look up Shay Stanford on YouTube. She's like the queen of Shakeology. She's really great. Or just, look up Shakeology Surge. Team Bombshell Dynasty did a Shakeology Surge like in 2016 or 17. It was pretty good. Just a lot of information that after you listen to these trainings and all the medical stuff about it, you're like, dang. If you even look up who Darren Oli is, who is the creator of Shakeology, he's a nutritionalist guru. So when you are like, girl, $4 a day, this is nothing. This is highway robbery. Once you get in that mindset, it's not so awkward to answer these questions. But ultimately, people are going to take time to come around it because it's $160. How long at minimum? So how long did you take to come around? You have to remember that. So I always ask, when I ask the question up here, something like, what is your biggest struggle with nutrition? Pretty much anything they say, I tie back to how great Shakeology is. Well, my secret weapon is Shakeology, or the thing that keeps me on track is Shakeology. Have you heard of it? I have heard of it, but isn't it super expensive? Is a huge thing that people say. And then I always validate. So especially with the money concern, I'll be like, I thought that too. I really did return my second bag, so I'll tell that story sometimes. But these are my two biggest ones I say. So that is what I thought too. But to me, $4 a day for a meal, and they didn't even ask about price, right? I just said it. $4 a day for a meal, not just a coffee at Starbucks, is totally doable. And the increased energy and the help with my digestive issues is so worth it. Can I send you a little video explaining exactly what Shakeology is? And most of the time they say yes. Or they're like, no, and then they ghost you, and then they still watch your stories. So again, it's just about time. And then like I answered these depending on what their goals are, but depending on what they're struggling with, right? So that's what I thought too. But the clean eating system and my group helps teach us how to build it into our grocery budget, not on top of it. So if you're meal planning and you're meal prepping, Shakeology is one of your 5 small meals a day. So you should be building that in. You shouldn't have all this produce going bad in your house. It is, what are you doing? Something that can help them. So think a system like that could help you, lose 20 pounds and stick with it. Because a lot of times it's the meal prep. A lot of times it's buying something and not being able to stick with it. It's not that it doesn't work, it's that they can't stick with it. And that's what your group offers. I asked Brenna to give me some of her examples of what she does. And she said that a lot of times she acts like she's hooking them up with, sorry, I'm trying to see if my husband's home. Like hooking them up with Shakeology, like, you're welcome. So they'll be like, oh, this is my struggle. And she'll be like, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to get you on a clean eating system. It's super easy. You're going to still get a cheat day. And I need to hook you up with Shakeology. It's been my secret weapon with insert her true story. So Brenna talks about how she struggles with cravings. That is her solution, is Shakeology. So she'll relate to them in that way. Now, who has gotten somebody who you've gone through the whole process, they're so excited about the group, and then they fall off the face of the earth? Like, literally, like, are you still alive? You haven't messaged me back, you haven't posted on Instagram, I'm trying to like engage with you in a natural way, and you're gone. That happens. So you just need to address it. This is something that you can't see. So there might not be like, I'm totally terrified. Eventually they could, but a lot of times I've had to like bring it out of people. Why are you falling off the face of the earth? And you have to be brave enough to ask the question. And they are probably not going to read your message for a little bit, but then they will. And I'll say, hey babe, I know you were super jazzed to jump in our group. What is holding you back from starting? I've just said that before. Does that make you kind of nervous to ask? If it does, know that you asking that is like just showing how much you really care. You really want to know what's going on with them. If they talk to you about the money is a lot for them, whatever, you can say, hey babe, I know this is a big investment for you, and I want you to know that I'm here to help you through all of it. Please don't be hesitant to ask any questions or word vomit on me. Do you have any? Do you have any questions? And they'll answer you eventually, or you'll send that and then they won't, and then you'll still love on all their pictures, and then eventually you'll get a message from them. Or when you ask them the next month, like, hey, how are you? Like, how was Disneyland, or how are you doing? When you still show up for them, they'll eventually address it. You just have to remember that we don't wait for people, because your business and your goals are too important. So you have to move on. You can't hold out and say, okay, I'm going to make Success Club because these 3 people said that they are going to buy, until you see that number, and until you see it in the back office, assume it's not there. Just because you don't want to stop your goals waiting on other people. Does that make sense? So people will answer you, and then you have to just go with it. With the fear one, you have to just relate to them on the most human level you can, empathetic. Sit on I always love sympathy is when you stand above and look down and say, that's really sorry for you. I'm really sorry for you down there. And then empathy is when you sit on the ground and say, like, you know, I understand this with you. So you are going to, you're going to see what it is. Like, I had a girl who like was like, honestly, I just don't, she basically told me that she didn't even see any value in herself to spend this money on. And that's something that, right, we can't just teach her. We can know that we're there and then we're here for her when she's ready, but I can't, through a message, make her see value in herself, that she does deserve to invest. She was like, honestly, I don't think I deserve anything like this. Like, my family should come first. And I have to just be like, okay. But as you're getting these objections, and a lot of them are super specific, I can't give you every example that happens. I can just give you these generals. What you're going to do is you're going to take these objections, and that's what you're going to address in your Instagram stories. That's what you're going to address in your posts. Exactly what people say to you, you're going to act like you're talking to them. So Brenna did a post the other day, and I just happened to know that it was because of an objection she got. And I did this last week, but I didn't have time to do a thing on it, and I thought hers was better. So she said, like, basically the girl was scared, and this was about coaching, but this easily could be a challenge group objection too. You know, girl, it's okay to be scared, excited at the same time. I feel so ready for a change, but scared it will be like all the other times. So, you know, people try fitness things and they fail. They tried Weight Watchers, it didn't work. They tried Thrive, it didn't work. They tried it worked, it didn't work. It worked, didn't work. Okay, like, they've tried these things, they've invested money, and they're scared. It's normal to feel that. It's normal to feel like it's better to just stay comfortable, because at least you know what to expect. I felt the same way before beginning my journey. I would never have imagined the girl crying on her closet floor because all she could fit in I just am not a good reader, just heads up. She could fit in resembled a tent, would now be teaching women to love themselves, to show up for themselves, and that the only thing stopping them from reaching all their goals in life was them. So, like, this was a coaching one, but that's also a challenge group. Like, being the girl scared on the floor crying, like, who has not been there? Everybody has been there. So you're taking an objection and you're turning it out, and you're acting like you're talking to that one person who said it, but you're not saying, like, hey, Rachel, you sent me this message and here's my response to it. Because I promise you, if one person said it to you, 10 others are thinking the exact same thing at minimum. So that's what you're doing your content on. If you feel like you don't have any content for your posts, you're probably not inviting enough, because you're not getting enough objections. Because when I have a flood of inbox of no's for lots of different reasons, I'm like, oh crap, oh snap, here we go. Like, here's this objection post, like this objection post, like, which one should I do tonight? It's when that I'm not doing my business activity tracker and I'm not, like, doing my business building activities, is when I don't know what I'm gonna post about. And then I loved, just because she was on our team call last week, so obviously I went to her page because she is killing it, and she has Success Club points off the board. She actually had a video of her and her son working out, but I couldn't put the video in here. And she said, here's the thing, we're all busy. We all have a busy schedule and a busy life. The word busy is just thrown around. You will have to put time for the things that are important to you. We all have the same 24 hours. Stop with the excuses and just make things happen. So sometimes it's going to be like, hey, get it together. Hey, girl, wash your face. Figure it out. And then other times it's going to be like, this is how I made it work. You know, when Brianna does her friggin' workout on her lunch break when she had her old job, it was like, get it together. I'm doing it on my lunch break. Like, I have 3 kids. They're off and running around. I have not showered. Like, get it together. You're going to make time for things that are important to you. Okay, hold on. So those are my slides. But hold on, let me hit the chat really fast. Yes, Cammy over my shoulder. Like, gosh, this girl. So does anybody, so that was kind of a general thing. Also, okay, here I'm going to just write this down if this is something you're struggling with. Well, first of all, you're going to be a student. You're going to go have times where you're like, oh, I'm really rocking invites. And then you're going to be like, I'm really struggling with invites. I'm really rocking invites. Nobody is just great at something for forever. We all have ups and downs. You have to be okay with being a student. When I figured out real quick that like, okay, I need to get better at my conversations, back in 2015 when I started coaching. And then I went to YouTube and I searched objections. And there are national wake up calls. Bonnie Engel has the famous objections video, and she gives her scripts. This was a little while ago, and she's pretty aggressive, not in a bad way, just of like, hey, you said you wanted to do this, where are you? And depending on everyone's personality is depending on what works for them. But either way, you're going to learn if you go to this video and you're going to watch it. I just saw, as I was putting mine, I was just uploading last week's team call. Sorry about that, everyone. Arizona really threw me off. Before this one, and I saw that Ashley Mulsett just had one that was like objections. And, I saw the little clip of, how the YouTube has like a piece of the video is like the cover, and it was like, do I have to get the shake? And she had all the reasons of what she says of why you have to get the shake. My favorite answer to, well, can I just do the workouts and not do Shakeology, is what Keisha says. Keisha says, well, girl, it's kind of like shampoo and conditioner. The workouts are shampoo and Shakeology is the conditioner. And if I want you to look fabulous at the end, you need both. I would never tell you to do one without the other. But that's so Keisha to have a funny, cute saying, but that puts a visual in your head of that they are equal. So just listening to other people and what works for them is going to get you ideas in your head of what you would say. Maybe you would come up with another analogy, or maybe you would just be straightforward. Or you would maybe hook them up with the sampler package. But it's still really great that you have, when someone says that, what their holdup is. That they don't see value in Shakeology, and then bam, something on your Instagram stories or your posts are gonna need to focus on Shakeology. You're gonna have to talk about it, and you can then go and be a student on how to talk about Shakeology in your posts. So you see how this works? You're always going to be a student, and you're always going to be learning. And so my suggestion always is on Sundays, when you figure out, look back at the last week. What are all the objections you got? What did you do well? What did you talk about in your social media? And then plan out what you need to talk about. Okay, on Tuesday, I'm going to do a call to action with the transformation, and I'm going to talk about that Shakeology helped with it. On my Instagram stories, I'm going to go live and talk about why something. So it's just ever learning, ever growing, figuring it out kind of a way. But if you get an answer from someone and you don't know what to say, talk to your success partner. Reach up to your upline. Reach up to your upline. Say, hey, can you help me formulate this back? I still do it when I don't really know what to say. I messaged my coach every single day the whole first year of my being a coach. So don't feel like you can't do that. I personally turn my notifications off on my messenger so that if I'm unavailable, nobody's bothering me. But then when I am available, I'm more than happy to answer my coaches or my, everyone's questions. And I know that if you're on this team, you feel the same way. Everyone loves to help each other here. So does anyone have any questions or anything specifically that is coming up that they need help getting through? You can ask that now in the chat or live, whatever. Brenda, did you have anything to add?
No, I thought that was really great, Sam, and hit a lot of the key points that I would have touched on as well. The other part about objections and all of that stuff is that in the moment, all you can do is try to, kind of overturn that objection. And sometimes people's objection is just going to be that they have to say no initially in order to say yes. So like Sam said, do not get discouraged by people saying no, especially if they're like, well, I just don't think right now is a good time.
That's the most iffy no in the books. Anything that's not just a flat out no is really a just later, is really what it is. So if that's the one thing that I can just try to remind you, is that, you know, you can do what you can do with objections. And I always recommend trying to kind of overturn those, like she said, by asking questions and really kind of diving in. But a lot of times, you know, people just have to, like, for them, they're just like, I just have to say no to you. Like, I have to feel like I have that power to say no in order to say yes down the road. And those are the people who say, like, I just don't think this is a good time. Even if you've gotten all the way to where you talk to them about the program, you send them a link, and then all of a sudden they disappear. That's where, like, they had this panic moment, freaked out, you know, or whatever. Those are the people who, I swear, an entire month, like 3 months ago, my entire Success Club 10 came from people who reached out to me, who all said no to me before. Not one person was a person I invited that month. They were all people I had talked to months and months before. So just keep that in mind. Objections sometimes, and some months are just harder, you know, going into the end of the year. The holidays is going to be a big objection. So I definitely recommend in your challenge groups, and when you're inviting, to really amp up the fact that you're getting started early. Why do we have to wait till January? Like, really focusing on kind of amping that up on your stories, talking about how excited you are that you're not waiting till January 1. Like, what does that date have to do with anything? And that you're not going to gain a ton of weight. And that you're going to, like, you know, continue your fitness journey. That is the biggest objection getter ridder. I don't know how you would say that. Way to get rid of that objection that, like, the holidays are the reason you're not, or the reason that, you know, showing that this does work is by doing it yourself and talking about it. Because if you don't talk about it, no one knows it's happening. So that's also the biggest way to get rid of an objection without even having that conversation. So like Sam said, I'm always trying to get better about talking about my objections on my page. Sam's really, really good about that, guy. So I definitely recommend checking out her stuff, because that is something that she pushes me to do on a regular basis. I'm more like behind the scenes. I'd rather talk about objections, but, you know, after a while it's like, okay, there's a reason. You just have to put it on your page and just, like, in your face, people, you know? So don't be afraid to be a little in your face, even if it's kind of hard.
And no one here on this team is, like, not busy. Like, everyone is super busy. And, like, to me, like, that's, like, the best way is to show how busy you are. And you don't have to be, like, constantly frantic, like you're in panic and people are like, oh my gosh, like, she's a hot mess. I mean, I do look like a hot mess frequently, but I try to have a smile on with my hot mess. Like, today I have not even showered yet. It's so embarrassing. Like, I stink, but, like, I'm busy. And the busier you are, and the more you're making it work, and, like, not that you're perfect, but you're just making it work within the crazy, I swear you will get the less objections. Because people will be like, I just feel like I don't have any time, but I shouldn't probably say that to you since you was 6 weeks old. And I'm like, that's what I say. I don't really say that to them, but, like, when I get that, I'm like, So it's like, what else is stopping you then? And then we can get to the real reason, because if you want to make time, you can wake up 30 minutes earlier. If you, just like this, if you want to make time, you can get on the team call. If you want to build a business, you can wake up 30 minutes earlier and send invites. It's just a decision. If you want to go Emerald this weekend, you'll go Emerald, you know. Like, it's a decision. It's a mindset. And I just think that has been the best thing for my business, is the crazier I have been. You know, I worked out all through my pregnancy, and guys, I was modifying everything. I was dying through my workouts. I'm dying now being postpartum, but I'm doing it. And even if I grow this much a little bit and I share that, people are less likely to be like, whatever. Or if I share that, like, okay, hey, this is if you're getting a lot of price objection because your niche market is, like, really budget oriented or something, go over your budget, go over your meal, like, not your whole life budget, but, like, your grocery budget, and how you, like, build it in. Like, you know, you have to find the objection. What is your niche market worried about, and squish it. Because ultimately, when you look fly in your holiday dress and they're, like, nervous to put it on, then, you know, especially. So anyways, but Brenda did say this is a big season for objections. All you can do is put your head down and power through, and then share your story and be better. But don't take your foot off the gas. Don't do it. Don't do it, because It's going to take more work this quarter to get there, but the more you put in now, the bigger in January you will explode. So even if you are like, just like we tell you to push play in my challenge group, how often do I say this? Like, just push play. If you don't want to do it in 5 minutes, you can stop. But how many times do you stop, right? Like, you always finish your workout. Just sit down and send the invites. Open your inbox, put on a great song that pumps you up, and send the invites. Because, and then if you hate it after a few or two or whatever it is, then you can stop. But the more you send now, January and February and March, you will blow the F up. I promise you. Like, always, that's what happens. We have Shanti launching, and everybody is like, this girl was doing it all holidays. And everyone and their mother on January 1st starts a goal. So that is it.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Of course.
And guys, especially for those of you that feel like objections are really, really hard and really scary, whether it's coaching objections or challenge group objections, our Millionaire Upline is providing these amazing resources that Sam talked about. Okay, so even if you're like, oh my God, I don't even know how to have this whole conversation about boot camps, send an invite and say, hey, tomorrow I have this awesome info group where people who have been talking about this for 7 years are going to be giving you all the details. And then afterward, all I have to say is, what questions do you have? Versus, let's go back and forth and talk about all this stuff. We can say, what are your goals and what questions do you have? They're explaining the value of Shakeology. They're explaining the value of a boot camp. They're explaining the value of the workouts. Literally, you add them to the group and tag them in the post. That starts tomorrow. Take advantage. Take advantage of that through this week. So if you do nothing else, you don't share anything else on your social media, I challenge you tonight or first thing tomorrow morning to post something about your journey, and then to say, do you want some more information about how I did this or how I can help you do it too? I have this really cool group. Add and tag. Same thing with coaching. There's a coaching sneak peek Sam talked about November 7th. That's coming up. If you're looking to like bring some more girls onto your team, but you struggle with talking about the coach opportunity or how to explain the ins and outs, don't be afraid to send the people who you think would be good coaches an invite and just say, hey girl, I think you would be really good at this. I have this really cool group that explains what we do, how we build a business, and what to expect as a coach. Can I add you? Add and tag, add and tag, add and tag, add and tag. Okay. So like that is the end of the year. That is clutch, guys. That is going to be clutch, especially for your busy people. Take advantage that let people who have been doing this for 7 years explain all the hardcore details, and you show up then with their one objection and have that conversation. Or you show up and go, are you ready? Here's your program. Let me send it, share a cart. I know how to do that. Real great. Whatever it is. I'm just saying, like, take advantage. I'm going to, really impress upon my new coaches to take advantage of this in the next couple of weeks. And there's another one in December. So get used to it now. There's going to be one every single month talking about Transform 20, talking about all this stuff. So just add and tag people. If I can just say one thing, add and tag right now, because it's that time of year and people are way more open to like, okay, maybe I don't have the time to have a conversation, but I can look over some videos at night when I'm scrolling Facebook or whatever. So anyways, that was my rampage.
And I'm gonna squish your objections in your head. So you are worthy to grow this team. You are worthy to grow your own team and reach your own goals. You are the only one in your way. You are fit enough, you are pretty enough, you are strong enough, you are smart enough, and you don't have all the answers, and that is okay. So when all that gets in your head, and then you're like, I think I'm going to clean the kitchen instead of work my business, even though you lay awake at night and you dream, right? You dream. Everyone dreams of what they want, whether it's just paying for their kids to go to college, or retiring from their job they don't like, or getting out of debt. You are worthy in this business to reach any goal that you set. The only way you're going to get there is if you get out of your own way, squish your own objections of whatever they are ringing through your head, and just do it. So that is it. I will leave that with you tonight. Sorry, Cammie is pushing me out of the way. God. You guys are awesome. We'll have a lot of content and a lot going on. It's busy. if you're feeling drained from all of it, because we do have a lot going on, like there's a lot of notifications going up and like Emerald Push and this and that and that, don't scroll as much. Just turn your notifications off, and then when you're ready to focus and come in at the end of the night, just check it all off. Put up a post and then don't check it for hours. Don't look at all the notifications, or then you feel like you're just constantly, your brain is on your business, and nobody, even full-time coaches, have time to be constantly pulled in by their notifications. So I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope that you're empowered right now and you're going to send some invites. You're going to put up a post, put up a transformation from your first day as a participating member of a challenge group to now, or whatever, or the program that you crushed the most, or whatever. Put it up. Say you can help them do that too. That's it. Love you. I'm going to stop recording and end the